What's up guys, welcome back to another This Week in Gaming video. We got a lot of news about the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate game coming out in December, so let's get right into it. Nintendo had a Super Smash Bros. Direct on November 1st, and they went over pretty much everything left that they hadn't told us about the game. They finalized the rosters, they went over the online mode, they went over the single player mode, as well as other very interesting features within the game. Now, it was a pretty long video, about 40 minutes long, so I'm just going to go over the big important things that you should probably know about before purchasing the game. The first thing is they finalized the starting roster of 74 characters by showing off two new characters that we will be getting, the first one being Ken. Now, Ken is an Echo Fighter of Ryu, basically has the same animations, but has moves that replicate Ken's moves from Street Fighter. I think the biggest thing that's difference between Ken and Ryu is that Ken will be a lot faster than Ryu. He'll move forward and backwards faster, and he's obviously going to have fire, and he's obviously going to have the way that he does his moves in Street Fighter that are different than Ryu, but probably all of the same power and abilities and everything like that. But it's really cool to have Ken in there because I'm more of a Ken fan than a Ryu fan, so I'm happy to have him because in Street Fighter I used him a lot more than Ryu. Then they showed off the 74th character, which is actually a really cool character. It is a Pokemon called Incineroar, and it is like a wrestling Pokemon, so all of Incineroar's moves are wrestling moves, lots of big heavy throws, so his attacks are slow, but if you do connect on them, they are heavy and do a lot of damage. And the cool thing about this character is that after you do a move, you do a wrestling pose, but thankfully it doesn't really affect the speed or leave you vulnerable to attacks because you can quickly cancel out of those poses. But definitely a character I'm going to try out when Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is released because I really looked cool, really fun character to play. Then they announced the DLC for the upcoming Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and basically they're going to release 5 different DLC packs that will include a character, that will include new music for the game, and a new stage, and they will cost $5.99 each, or you can buy the Fighter's Pass to get them all throughout the lifespan of the game for $24.99. And finally, they finished off the characters by showing off Piranha Plant, who is a character that you will get if you pre-order the game. Looks pretty interesting. Really out of left field, did not expect this at all as a character, but I mean 74, well I guess 75 characters in total with that pre-order bonus out of the box when it comes out, and you'll get all the DLC characters if you purchase the Fighters Pack or if you purchase them individually. It's just absolutely insane and crazy how many characters and how much choice we're going to get in this game, and it looks extremely fun. Now, besides confirming the rosters, the other massive thing they showed off, which is I think going to be the staple of this game, is the spirit system. Now, the spirit system is pretty complicated, so if you really want a full understanding of it, I really suggest going to watch that Nintendo Direct video and just seeing exactly how it works, but I'll do my best to explain it. Basically, from what I understand, is that every character has spirits, and then they lost those spirits. And now they're trying to fight other characters who have spirits to get their spirits back. And once you defeat those characters, you're going to have a chance to get the spirits that that character had. If you don't get the spirit after defeating the character, the next time you try to get the spirit, you'll have an even easier chance. And they kind of use like a roulette style of thing to determine whether you get the spirit or not. Now, once you've captured these spirits, they can be equipped for power-ups and support, and they can also be upgraded. So this seems like it is the major staple and the major system within the game that is really going to differentiate Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from the other Super Smash Bros. Games. And it looks really cool. It looks very promising. I'm very excited to see how it all works when the game is finally released. Now, the final massive thing they showed off was a new single player adventure mode called the World of Light. And from what I understand, this mode is based off of the spirits, and you're basically, they showed a video where there were a lot of master hands, and they showed all the characters getting ready to fight the master hands, but the master hand shot out a beam of light and turned all of the characters into spirits, and the only surviving character was Kirby. And then they showed off a bit of the gameplay, and basically you're a character going around a board, getting into different battles with different characters and collecting spirits. So there is not much more information on this other than the trailer that they showed, but it does look like it'll be a pretty fun single player mode when it is finally released. Besides those massive things, they also talked about all of the different amiibos coming out, the online play, as well as the different settings within the game. It was a pretty big direct, showed off tons of stuff. I thought it was pretty good. I was pretty entertained throughout the entire thing, and this game looks like is going to be just an absolute beast of a game, and I can't wait for it to finally come out. Let me know in the comments below which character you're most excited to play as, and what is the feature you're most excited about in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, another massive piece of news that came out this week was that the PlayStation Classic finally revealed the 20 games that will be coming along with the PlayStation Classic console in December. Now, firstly, let's go over them and just see what the list is and talk about the list. So the first game is Battle Arena Toshinden, which is a 3D style fighting game, classic game for the PlayStation. Resident Evil Director's Cut, obviously another classic game. Cool Borders 2, this is a game that a lot of people were just like, man, it's on there, that's cool. But I really love the Cool Borders series when it was out on the original PlayStation, so I'm very happy that that is coming out on the PlayStation Classic. If you go look at my prediction list, it was a game that I would have loved to have seen on there, and I'm happy that it's there. The original Grand Theft Auto, this is a great game. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the original Grand Theft Auto, that overhead top-down view. Very cool and very fun. It really brings you back to the roots of where Grand Theft Auto started. Final Fantasy VII, I mean, a classic. I'm not too excited about that because I've played it so many times. I have it on everything, so I probably won't play it on PlayStation Classic, but we'll have to see. Wild Arms, another great RPG, kind of a Western-style RPG. And this is a game I played, but I don't fully remember, and this is something I'm definitely excited to jump back into. The original Metal Gear Solid, I honestly don't think I've played the original Metal Gear Solid since the original PlayStation. I remember playing that game, loving it, playing the demo over and over and over again until I finally got the full game, so I'm definitely going to be playing this again. Twisted Metal, it's a great game, but I wish they would have put Twisted Metal 2 on there. Intelligent Cube, never played this game before. It is a puzzle style game from what I've seen. Mr. Driller, again, never played this game before and looks like another puzzle game. Oddworld Apes Odyssey, a great platforming, 3D platforming game that is just awesome to have on here. A game that I'm very looking forward to playing. Rayman, a great platformer, right? The origins of Rayman, I mean, great cartoony style platformer, lots of fun, happy that that's on there. Jumping Flash, I've never played that game, so I have no idea what it's about. Revelations Persona, I've never played it. I know Persona is a great series. From what I've read and heard about this game, it is a very dark JRPG, so I'm looking forward to trying that out. Ridge Racer Type 4, an amazing racing game, happy that that is on there. Siphon Filter, this I'm not really here or there on whether that's on here or not. Don't really care too much. I will try it out and play it. I did play it, but I don't think I ever beat the game. Tekken 3, one of my all-time favorite games ever. I played so much Tekken 3 on the original PlayStation, and I'm just so happy that it is on there, and I'm definitely going to be playing the heck out of that when that comes out. Hopefully having friends out and having like a tournament or something, that will be awesome. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, like, I agree with everybody on this. I have no idea why this game is on there. It is complete trash, and it's just, I'm not even, like, I'll try it and probably get upset right away. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. This game, I've played it before. It is fun. It's just another puzzle game, nothing too exciting for me. Destruction Derby, I've never played, but I've been watching videos and hearing people talking about it, and it looks actually like a lot of fun. Now, this lineup really upset a lot of people, and there was tons of complaining, tons of just not people continuously mad about this, saying, oh, they didn't release all these classics and blah, 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 and all that stuff. But, I mean, there is, if a Happy Console Gamer, a really good YouTuber, put it the best, and I completely agree with how he put it, basically saying that this is for nostalgia. Really just, it's to bring you back to the roots, to show you where these games started from. And this list is fine. I mean, to me, there's nothing really wrong with this list. A lot of the games that people wanted on there are coming out in remasters, coming out in remakes, coming out in different versions. So as a business sense, it makes total sense for Sony not to put it on there. I mean, obviously it sucks for the consumer, but at the same time, you just got to think about it logically, and it makes sense for them not to put it on there so it doesn't cannibalize the sales of those other games. So, I mean, this list to me, there are lots of games on here that I haven't played, I haven't tried before, and I'm really excited to go out and try those. And I think this is going to appeal to a lot of people who love the PlayStation 1, and it's for the nostalgic reasons. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me on this, but I'm completely fine with this list, and I'm looking forward to picking this up when it is released. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this list, and what do you think about the PlayStation 1 Classic. As we know, the Nintendo Switch has sold amazingly well. It may not meet the 20 million mark that they said they probably would meet by the end of the fiscal year, but it has now outsold the Nintendo GameCube. Now, the console's only been on the market for 2 years, and it has sold 22.86 million units, where the Nintendo GameCube in its entire life sold 21.74 million units. Now, being completely honest with you, I absolutely love the Nintendo Switch. I love everything about it, and seeing how well it's selling is awesome for Nintendo, awesome for Nintendo gamers, awesome for more games coming out onto the console. But when I read that it has already outsold the Nintendo GameCube, kind of made me a little bit sad, just because of how much I love the Nintendo GameCube. I know it was not even close to being the most popular console in that generation, but I mean, it was probably my favorite console, and I wish a lot more people would experience it because there are so many good games on it. Red Dead Redemption 2 has now had the biggest opening weekend in entertainment history. They sold $725 million worth of games within just 3 days. Now, this doesn't include business to consumer. This really only includes all business to business, so Rockstar selling it to the stores to sell it to the consumer, but it just shows you just how popular this game is, and it shows you that when you wait like 8 years, which they did to release this, it's gonna have so much hype, and they made it. They really lived up to that expectations. This is an absolutely amazing game. It really deserves to have this as the best entertainment release of all time. If you, like I said in my other video, if you haven't played it, you need to go out and get this game right now. If you guys remember Bubsy the Bobcat, that classic platforming game for the Super Nintendo, well, it isn't dead. They're releasing a new version of the game, and it is called Bubsy Paws on Fire. And basically, this game will have 4 playable characters, new moves we've never experienced before, collectibles, a unique combo system, an in-game cosmetic shop, but you don't need to use real money to buy these things, 3 boss battles, and more than 100 levels. Now, I don't know about you, but I did like Bubsy on the Super Nintendo, so I'm definitely going to be checking this out. Let me know in the comments below if you played Bubsy on the Super Nintendo and if you're excited for this. Respawn Entertainment, the developers behind one of my favorite games, Titanfall, is working on 2 more big games, and they say they're going to be coming out in the holiday of 2019. If you remember back in 2017 when EA acquired Respawn, they announced that they are working on 2 new big games, and the first one being Titanfall 3 and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So this all signs point to 2019, holiday 2019 being the release date for these games. And like I said, Titanfall is one of my favorite games. Titanfall 2 was released at a terrible time, but it is one of my favorite shooters that I've played, and I wish it would have had a bigger community. And then we'll see how well they do with this Star Wars game, which will probably be amazing if we can base it off how well Titanfall, I think, is. So that's very cool to hear. I can't wait to see more about these games in the future. The Xbox games with gold for November have been announced, and here's what we'll be getting. Battlefield 1 for the Xbox One, Race to the Sun for the Xbox One, Assassin's Creed for the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One, and Dante's Inferno for the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. So that's your news. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new to this channel. Leave a comment down below about any of the things I talked about. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.